Hey there, beer tubers. Welcome back to Maxwell Starr's beer reviews. Tonight we're going to take a look at a beer from Nova Scotia. Going to take a look at a beer that I've been meaning to do for a very long time now. I first had the opportunity to try this beer in late 2013 when I was still on hiatus. But I was able to pick up a 6-pack of this stuff again in a recent trip to Amherst. Going to take a look at another product from what's becoming one of my favorite breweries from the Maritimes, Boxing Rock. This is their Temptation Red Ale, 6% ABV. Says our beer is legendary according to local folklore. Boxing Rock is where the bickering seamen were left by their captain to sort out their differences. Yeah, story was on the Vicar's Cross. Let's see. Temptation Red Ale. Full-bodied and rich, Temptation Red Ale is a sultry jazz singer in your glass. Continuously hopped during the brew and dry hopped after fermentation. This beer has a uniquely full flavor profile. Ingredients: water, malt, hops, yeast. So, Reinheitsgebot. Yow! Let's pop top off this one. So yeah, Irish Red Ale with hops. I can't wait to try this. Not that I haven't already tried it. It's delicious. Oh man, you can smell the hops from here. Alright, looking at that, just like any other Boxing Rock I've had thus far to date, it looks sexy. Nice red ale. That is one of the prettiest red ales you could ever see. Nice off-white head, ruby red appearance, maybe slightly off red, almost like some kind of fruit drink. Yeah, I mean, it looks red. It's like it's got a slight orangey hue to it. It looks nice, actually, and it almost has this pillowy head that's not so much losing its volume as it's kind of the bubbles are getting bigger. It looks like it's got a really nice like high head retention on this beer. It looks pretty. Let's give it a sniff. Oh. Oh yeah. It's like got that smell, hoppy. The first thing that you really notice off the top of this beer is hops. In the first notion, the most memorable notion I get, along with the other sense of like perfume and floral and grapefruit, I get this nice, like that fresh cut into a fruit, or like if you've ever you get that kind of smell if you've ever like broken into like a vegetable or a stalk or something. It's got that kind of almost grassy kind of smell. It actually really smells nice. Oh man, the freshness on the hops on this thing just smells amazing. And it's got this nice little bit of like a sugar sweetness, like not super sweet, but like almost like brown sugar to back it up. Really the red ale comes out of the smell as well. So it's got this nice blending of fresh hops and sweet smell. It really smells good. Let's put this thing down the hatch. Cheers. So, you get like a little bit of malty sweetness, like caramel, in around the back of the throat. On the roof of the mouth, you get almost like pine, subtle hints of white grapefruit. And almost like into a puff of foam, like soda water. As I drink more and more of it, a bit more of the caramel comes out, a bit more of those hops that we smelled in the taste. The bit more of those hops come out that we smelled that we smelled in the smell. It's really nice, to be honest. I bought this 2 weeks ago, almost. Yeah, 2 weeks ago. And it almost seems like it's lost some of its hop delicacy. This pack that I bought was brewed, bottled. It was bottled at the beginning of March. Not March. It was packaged at the beginning of May, and it's about, at the time of this recording, about a month old. It's almost like it's lost a little bit of its complexity in just its first 4 weeks of life. It's almost like the hops fade really quickly. I don't know what they use for hops. It's almost like they use some kind of hop that fades really quickly. This stuff is probably best drank fresh, which is a good thing, and it's also not a good thing because its shelf life becomes poor. Now, I'm not going to say that this beer's got really poor shelf life, because it doesn't. When I think of something that has poor shelf life, I mean from going from resembling its former, like really fresh, to like being undrinkable, like turns to vinegar, spoils, or something like that, like a picaroons would after like 4 months. This one here, well, a couple of years ago, 4 months anyway. With this one here, this is a month old, and it's kind of lost a lot of its hop complexity. When I first had it, it was just this delicious, like grapefruit floralist, nice taste to it. And this one here, it's just basically lost a lot of its hop complexity. You get a little bit of white grapefruit, a little bit of pine, and then there's an earthy resin that kind of lingers around the back of the throat, and that's what I'm getting around the center of the throat. Along with this nice gentle malt where you get this nice sweet kind of taste. Now, it's still a very good beer, but after 4 weeks, I mean, really, you got to get to this thing fresh. Because I had this 2 weeks ago, and I think I liked it better than this, but I still really like it. I approve of it. I mean, I'd really say Temptation Ale, you gotta try it. It's really delicious, but it's not as mind-blowing as it was when I first had it. It's like, it's not so much that it's lost something, it's lost its complexity. I guess it has lost something. You don't taste the 6%, that's for sure. And it sits with a medium body, lingering earthiness that comes about after you've taken a sip, and it dries the back of your mouth out as well. I still really like this. I would give this a 3.75 out of 5. I would approve of it. I mean, I do approve of it. I say you recommend trying it. When I had it a little fresher, it might have been a bit more like a 4. It is a really good red ale, but I wish they would work on the hop shelf life. It's probably really hard to do so depending on what they're using. Are they using like mosaic hops or something like that that really don't they lose a lot. Some really delicate hops, they lose their real nice delicate tropical flavors as they age. And if I were to make a suggestion to Boxing Rock, is maybe start canning stuff. Hops tend to break down in glass bottles, even the brown ones, even though they're sealed in a box. And it's been my experience that hops tend to stay a little longer if they're in a can. Not much longer, but it's hard to say. I mean, really, it comes down to personal experience. I think they're doing a great job just the way they are. And also, when you buy a Boxing Rock in Nova Scotia, they're usually shipped right from the brewery direct to the store. So when you buy it off the shelf right there, it probably is a fresh batch and it's within a month old. So you're probably going to get the beer as fresher than what I'm drinking now, and it's still really delicious. So yeah, give it a shot. See if you like it. I do approve of it, and I would really love to drink more of this stuff. So, you know what? Really, the biggest thing I want is that New Brunswick desperately needs some Boxing Rock stuff. We need some Boxing Rock love up here because your beers are fantastic. So this one gets a 3.75 out of 5 from me. Thanks for watching Maxwell Starr's beer reviews of Boxing Rock Temptation Red. Talk to you folks later. Cheers.